Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we're gonna go ahead and get the train wrapped up. Finally got all of our new parts in. So what we got left to do here is get the harmonic balancer off, get the timing chain cover off, get all the new timing chains in, new gears on the balance shafts. We're gonna go ahead and replace the water pump too. That came in the kit, so that should have all the new seals and stuff like that. Got a new timing chain covered gasket. We should have everything to finish wrapping this up today. So in case you guys didn't see it, guys, in my last couple of videos, we rebuilt the head. It had bent valves in it from when the timing chain tensioner broke. We went through and put brand new valves in it, lapped them in, new seals, got the head all cleaned up. That's all good to go. We pulled out each one of the pistons, completely cleaned them up, put all new rings on every one of them, got the oil pan put back on. So now we're at the point to go ahead and start just getting the timing chain done, and then we can start reassembly of everything. Hope you guys stick around, and let's get right into it. Alright guys, got timing chain cover off. So looks like we have some broken pieces in here. Alright, so this is our main timing chain here. And this is going to be like our secondary. This is what's going to run the balance shafts here. And then right there's the water pump. So we'll get this main one off here, get it out of here, get some of the pieces here taken off, the tensioners. And then we'll start taking the secondary off and putting all new gears and stuff like that on there, and the new water pump. Didn't come off too bad. Bunch of 10mm bolts. There was one right here that I didn't think held the case on, but apparently it did. So I took that off. Everything seemed to pop off pretty good. So, all right. right, guys, so here's the water pump. We got it all out. Here's our new one. So you're gonna have to take this cap off of this one, or we have to put it on this one. The kit came with all new O-rings. It even come with new dowels to put in right here. New O-ring for the pipe, which we'll clean the other one up and make sure it's all lubed up and stuff like that, the other end, because it only came with the one. So yeah, we're gonna get this cover put back on, and then we'll get it installed. All right, water pump is in. I cleaned this all out in here because I had some, not really pitting, but just some a little bit of buildup. I want to make sure when we slide that tube back in that the O-ring slides in there really good. So we'll clean this one out in here just a little bit too. All right, guys, water pump is all in. Got our temperature sensor all back in. That's a pain in the ass to take out, or not really take out, but we got to take that out to get that other bolt out because, well, engineers. So that's all back in. All our O-rings are all greased up. Everything is all good there. All right, guys, I think we're about ready to start throwing the timing chain and everything back together on this finally. So this is the new kit that I bought. It was a, I bought it off Amazon. It is a, made by Evergreen. It came in a whole kit that had everything. This is going to be the secondary chain. So it's going to have your crank sprocket, your chain, your tensioners, your two balance shafts, and then your water pump. So this is basically the old one that came off. It was the sprockets are pretty wore out. They're really rounded off. The tensioners had some pretty bad grooves in them. You see a little strip on the center. It was worn pretty bad there. The kit looks like it's pretty much identical. These are obviously all Chloe's. These look the same, other than they just don't say Chloe's on them or GM. The only difference I am seeing is on the sprockets. So on the balance shafts here, you can see they'll say, like this is the green side, the green one here. It's going to be hard to see it on there. And then this one right here will say white. So the only thing that I'm really seeing is these have like a little protective cover that goes on them, and then they have like a guide that goes inside of here, which is probably just for like a chain support. These really don't have, there's kind of like an open sprocket. But other than that, they all look the same. So obviously we're going to run with it. The new chain doesn't have the triple colors on it here, but it does have the 3 colors to line everything all up, which is going to be just fine. Chain looks good. So yeah, this is the new kit. So far it's pretty decent. I've bought stuff from Evergreen before for my LS's. I've never really had a problem with it, so you know, we're going to run with it. It was a budget build, so all right, let's get this thing thrown back together. All right, guys, that's about the best angle we're gonna get for you guys. Hopefully you guys can make everything out. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna stuff some towel down in here just in case we drop anything, it doesn't go into the pan. Then we're gonna take off the oil squirter here, just make sure that's good and clean, and then we'll start putting the balance shaft sprockets on, and then the chain after that. Alright, we just sprayed that out with a little bit of brake clean. Throw it back on. It wasn't plugged up. Everything was good. Alright guys, that gets tightened down to 89 inch-pounds. Okay. Green intake goes on this balance shaft here. And the white exhaust goes on this one. Alright guys, these balance shafts are going to get torqued down to 37 foot-pounds. And there's going to be a little hole to be able to put a drill bit in to stop it from turning right there. I'm going to try to get that to stay in there and torque it without it falling out. Well, that was a nightmare. And looks like we broke a fucking tooth. Fucking wonderful. Okay guys, we had to swap out this sprocket because I chipped the tooth on it, as you guys seen. It's supposed to be like a 5/32 drill bit or punch you can put in there to hold these sprockets, and that wasn't working. So you could see I tried all kinds of different stuff to get it to get it to hold. Obviously one of them didn't work, so we'll get the sprocket for the water pump on, and then we'll throw the chain on. All right, we got our timing mark straight down here. The intake one should go straight up, and then the exhaust one here, arrow should go down. That's what we're looking for. arrows are lined up. I think we're good. Here, here, and then 12 o'clock over here. So we're going to start with this tensioner here. Make sure that the chain is in the little groove on these tensioners, or these guides. And obviously every time we put one of these on, we need to make sure that our marks are still lined up. We're still good here, still good here. All right, before we pull our pin, we'll double check all of our marks. Everything looks like it's lined up right where it's supposed to be. So we'll pull our pin. We're good. All right, so our next step is going to be, I want to get the head put on it. So when we put the chain down in there for the main one, it can just go right down through the head and everything is all done. We don't have to worry about trying to hold the chain, put the head on, or anything like that. So we're going to get the head surface cleaned, or the block surface cleaned up here a little bit. We should be on top dead center for number 1 down there, so that should be good. If we have to move it just a tad bit, that's going to be fine. But it should be ready for the head to go down. We'll just clean this up a little bit and throw it on. All right, first pass on these is going to be 22 foot-pounds, and then we'll do a 155 degrees. All right, guys, these go to 26 foot-pounds. All right, head's all on, guys. Now we can start on the main timing chain. All right, guys, so this is the main timing set that I got. It's still the same evergreen set. So all the components are the same when it comes to that. So this is, we got a new chain, crank sprocket, tensioner and a guide. Another guide goes at the top. And then it also comes with the brand new phasers for the top. This is how they come. Pretty decent. So this is our intake side. And we got the exhaust side. They're both wrapped pretty good. So we'll go ahead and start getting this, start with the crank pulley. Then we're gonna slip the chain on the intake side, I think it is. And then we'll drop the whole thing down in there, start getting everything lined up. All right, guys, so at this point right here, we have the intake sprocket on. You can see the little diamond right there lined up with the colored link. And then down here, we have it lined up with the bottom sprocket. I'll show you that. So here, you'll see that'll line up with that dot right there. So now we'll put the next tensioner on. It goes right up here. And then we'll go up and we're going to put the exhaust sprocket on. All right, so we're gonna take our exhaust one. See if we can get this chain up here. Find our dot. Couldn't figure out why it wouldn't reach. I still got the old tensioner in 22 foot-pounds and then 100 degrees. Make sure we're locking our cam here really good so it doesn't slip the chain or move. Okay, now we can go down, we can put that guide on there. Okay, right now we have all of our slack on this side here. We want to rotate this a little bit, give our slack over here so we can get that on. Just like that. Forgot to take the old tensioner bolt out. I loosened it up when it was on the bench. Hey, didn't take it out. All right, guys, this is where the tensioner bolt went, or the guide went. So this is the old one that came off. It was all tore up. That's where it broke at. That goes in this hole, goes through the guide. And then this plug goes over top of it. So they make this new design that you can get that's like this, that's a combination of both. So this is what I ended up buying. So put this in there, line it up with the guide. Click, click. All right, guys, here's our new tensioner that came with the kit. Now, I'm not gonna be able to really show you guys where that goes up there. It goes into the back of the head. But if you notice, I don't know if you can here. See how that freely moves in and out like that? So what you have to do is you're gonna push this down and it'll set it. All right, see how that's sticking out now? Now there's tension on it. So now we can set it in there. And then there's going to be a groove on the guide. So as you're turning that in, make sure that this will stay in that groove. It'll, it's kind of rotate and stay where you can see. You'll be able to look down in their seat. I just ain't going to be able to show you on the camera. So just trust me. All right, guys, our kit came with a new gasket. It also came with a new seal for the crank, and it came with a seal for the cover here, but since we just took the whole cover off, I'm not going to worry about replacing that. So I already put the new seal in. Just got to throw this new gasket on there and then start with the cover and the bolts. All right, guys, all the front cover bolts are tightened and torqued down, 18 foot-pounds, I think it was. Now it's time to put the balancer on. So we're gonna put a little bit of oil around the seal here, and then on the inside of here, there's gonna be the oil pump that it's gonna have to slide into. And it's got 2 flat spots on it. So you're gonna have to kind of reach in there and make sure that the oil pump is turned the right way so it'll slide in there. Just like that, guys. Our kit came with a new top bracket too. This will go right up here. Okay guys, I got the manifold, exhaust manifold all put on. O2 sensor put in. So when I took this head off, I took the exhaust manifold off with it, and when I put it back on, I did not put the manifold back on with the head. I put it on separate. Well, that turned out to be a major pain in the ass because I couldn't get the exhaust to move back far enough to get the studs, the 3 studs that go up into the bottom of the manifold. So I had to take every one of the studs that go into the head out. It's like a T7 or yeah, T7, not torque, I'm sorry, E7, it's the E socket for the studs. So I had to pull every one of those out, and they are not easy to get into when the manifold is back in. So that was kind of a nightmare. So if you do this, I would recommend maybe throwing the manifold back on. Now, I could have went down and took the brackets off the exhaust, but if any of you guys have ever messed with anything exhaust, the less you mess with, the better. So it was actually probably would have been easier for me to do the studs like I did. So right now we're just going to finish wrapping everything up. Throw the intake manifold on, dipstick back in. Valve cover's just sitting on there because I didn't want anything to get knocked down in there. Gonna do oil change on it, all that stuff. Get all the plugs back in it, coils, antifreeze, and see if this thing is gonna run after everything we've done to it. So I'll put you on probably a time lapse so we can get everything all wrapped up and see what happens. Okay guys, I think we've got everything wrapped up, ready to go. I don't have the cover on here, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave the coils unplugged so I can roll it over, try to get some prime up to the oil pump since everything is dry. So we'll do that a few times, and then we'll go ahead and see if it'll start. Let me know if anything happens. All right, let's hope that's enough to build some oil pressure. If not, we're gonna find out real fast. Yeah, heck yeah, boys! For any oil leaks or gas leaks, everything's looking good.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
That's not good. All right, guys. After a little bit of looking around, one of the typical things that everybody does, and I had a major vacuum leak, so I heard it whistling really bad out there or in the car, so I found that. So this goes on there. That should solve our problem. So we'll get this wrapped back up. All right, guys, we got it backed out. I'll be honest with you, this thing is this thing's running good. She's burning like a kitten, man. Very, very, very happy so far. I mean, I know we're still in early stages, but you know, we must have did something right. So that air leak, that solved the problem that we were having when it would stall. So right now we're just letting it warm up. We're gonna let our antifreeze circulate through the motor, get that all done, and I think this project is wrapped up. I'll see you guys in a minute. All right, guys, we're gonna call that a wrap on the Terrain. Everything went really well on it. Took it for a couple test drives. Everything's working great. It's running wonderful. I dare to say it's running better than it was before the timing chain went out of it. Heat's working really good in it, so it burped out really well with the antifreeze and all that stuff. No leaks underneath of it. Honestly, it's just like it really never messed up. So that's good. So I was really happy with all the parts that I put into it. It was a budget build. Everything that we bought was from Amazon. Nothing super fancy, but the parts were pretty affordable, to be honest with you. I think we did the whole build, which was including the timing chain kit, which came with both sets of timing chains, the secondary and primary, the cam actuators, all the tensioners. It even came with the gasket for the cover. Really had everything, and it was a good kit. I think that kit was $350 or something like that. And I bought the valves off Amazon too. The valves I think were 45 bucks for a full set of valves. Bought new seals, valve seals for it. Those were not much, 20 bucks, something like that. New what else did we put in it? New rings, duh. New rings. Rings were I think 35 bucks. I think we did this whole build under 500 bucks. Pretty much rebuilt the motor for the most part. I mean, the head was good, which, you know, we only had to rebuild it, so that was good. And we did a fresh oil change on it, fresh antifreeze in it, stuff like that. So everything turned out really well. Very happy with it. So now we have another car back on the road for an extra car, and it's out of the garage. It's done, hopefully. now we can get back onto something else. So this is going to be the next project. I want to get this finished up. This is something I've been working on for a very long time. I'll introduce it in the next video. So hopefully if you guys want to see that and the introduction to it and the history of the car and stuff like that, then tune in to the next one for this build. We've got a couple other builds to do, but this is my primary build that's been going for a long time, and it's just due time to get it finished up. So I'll introduce that in the next video, so stay tuned for that. And I think that's about it. I got a bunch of cleaning to do from having the car in the garage and exploded for the last few months, couple months it seems like. So as always guys, if you got anything from this video guys, if you learned anything from it, maybe give me a like. If you like what you see and you want to stick around for some other builds and check out what else we got going on, maybe consider subscribing to the channel. So guys, that's going to be it. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Later.